Good day everyone, especially to you ma'am. So I am here to discuss my topic entitled A Glance at Selected Philippines Political Caricature in Alfred Macoy's Philippine Cartoons. Political Caricature of the American Era, 1900s to 1941. But before I proceed to my topic, I will introduce myself first. I am Ahmad S. Paco, a BSP1B, and I am the reporter of Chapter 2.4. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we have some trivias here. During the American period, politic cartoons were one of the most powerful ways to criticize the government because direct criticism could get writers in trouble. So that means that kapag gumamit ka ng mga writings or sulat, is pwedeng mapahamak yung writers na yun. So instead na ganun yung gawin nila is gumamit sila ng cartoons. The next one is the newspaper like The Independent, Philippine Free Press, and Lipang Kalabaw became popular platforms for satire and politic commentary. So ito yung naging popular nung kapanahonan nila because dito nila nilalagay yung mga drawings. The third one is that some cartoons were based on real events which made them more impactful and controversial at the time. So hindi lang yung karamihan dun sa cartoon na yun is mga nangyayari through a true event. And hindi lang siya basta-basta gidrawing for like galing sa imagination kundi nagawa talaga yun dati. So, let's go to the introduction. Political cartoons and caricature are modern art that differ from classical art because they exaggerate features and make fun of their subject. They became part of print media as a way to express social and political opinions, often targeting people in power. Because they use symbols instead of long writing explanation, cartoons are an effective way to influence public opinion. Their ability to shape how people think makes them important sources for historical study. So what does it mean? So it means political cartoons are not just a simple drawing because since they are modern form of art na ginagamit to exaggerate features para ipakita o criticize ang isang tao, lalo na yung mga may kapangyarihan o yung mga taong nasa high level position sa bansa or have a lot of money. So usually itong mga cartoons na to is makikita sila sa mga newspaper or other print media since ang social media is hindi pa uso this time or sa time na to. So commonly makikita lang sila sa mga print media. So ginagamit sila as a way to express social and political opinions. So instead na gumamit sila ng mahabang editorial, they or opinions articles, they use cartoons instead. Kasi para mas mabilis daw maintindihan ng readers and ano yung minimi ng artist na yon. So, one image pa lang is may idea ka na kung ano yung stand or opinion ng artist. Because of this, nakaka-influence talagang political cartoon sa public opinion and it helps people uh, give some of their thoughts. That's why important siya for historians. By studying these cartoons, mas maiintindihan nila kung ano yung mga issue, pananaw at mindset ng mga tao during a specific time in history, especially in time of American era here in the Philippines. So, let's go to the next page. In the book of Philippine Cartoons, Political Caricature of the American Era 1900s to 1947, Alfred Macoy and Alfredo Roses collected political cartoons that were published in newspaper and periodicals during the American period in the Philippines. These cartoons reflect the political and social issues of the time. The purpose of this part is to examine selected cartoons and explain the historical context behind each one. So, basically, itong book ni Alfred Macoy and itong kay Alfred, Roses, is parang collection ng political cartoons na lumabas sa newspaper dati or during the American era sa Philippines. So, from 1900s to 1947, hindi lang siya random drawings. Here is the kundi mga cartoons na may pinapakitang issue about politics or the first political power cartoons in society during that time. So, hindi lang siya basta ginawa lang to make a fun of this, but they make that cartoons to deliver some thoughts of an artist. So, yung goal ng activity na to is tignan yung mga ilang selected cartoons because later I will give some cartoons or I will give some pictures too, and then yun nga kung ano yung nangyayari sa history nung time na ginawa yung cartoons na yon. So through these cartoons mas maiintindihan natin kung ano yung situation ng bansa, kung ano yung problema at kung paano tinignan ng mga tao noon yung mga American rule as a Filipino, di ba? I will show you these sample pictures of political cartoons. The first example was published in The Independent on May 20, 1916. So the cartoon shows a politician from Tondo named Dr. Santos passing his crown to his brother-in-law, Dr. Barcelona. There's a Filipino guy as depicted wearing salakot, and Barong Tagalog was trying to stop Santos, telling the latter to stop giving Barcelona the crown because it is not his to begin with. So ano yung ibig sabihin nun? So yung cartoon na to, lumabas siya sa The Independent ng May 20, 1916. So makikita nyo ang isang doctor dito. Ayan, so para siyang pare, pero yun, doktor pala siya. Tapos meron kayong makikita dyan na lalaking parang nakayuko yan siya, basta nakaano yung tuhod niya sa sahig. And pinapasa naman ng lalaki yung crown niya sa kanya. So, as you can see, may makikita kayong doon na may makikita kayong lalaki. So, wearing a salakot yung sa headband niya and wearing a ano yan, parang barong Tagalog. So, it symbolizes Filipino guy. So, yung Filipino guy na nakasalukot at barong Tagalog represent the ordinary Filipino people. Siya yung pumipigil kay Santos saying na hindi naman talaga kay Santos yung crown. So, nawala siyang karapatan ipamigay yun. Basically, pinapakita ng cartoon na to na inaabuso ng mga power yung authority nila at sinasabi rin na ang tunay na kapangyarihan dapat ay para sa bayan, hindi sa sarili or sa pamilya lang. So, actually, sa panahon ngayon is usong-uso pa rin yung mga ganitong sistema sa ating politics. Yung hindi masyado nakaka-join yung ibang tao. Instead, kapag naalis yung mayor na yon is ang ipapalit din sa kanya is yung pamilya niya din. It's either a father niya or brother niya, something like that. So wala masyadong nakakasali na ordinary people or ano. So yan yung pinapakita sa first picture. So let's go to the second one. So this is the second picture. So, this second cartoon was also published by The Independent on June 16, 1917. So, this was drawn by Fernando R. Marcelo and was aimed as a commentary to the working of Manila police at the period. Here, we see a Filipino child who stole a skinny chicken because he had nothing to eat. So, there's a police officer who was relentlessly pursuing the same child. There is a man also that wearing a salakot and labeled as Juan de la Cruz was grabbing the officer, telling him to leave the small-time pickpockets and thieves and to turn the great thieves instead. He was pointing to a huge warehouse containing bulks of rice, milks, and grocery. So, itong second cartoon is lumabas din at the time na yung sa first picture or yung first cartoon. So, sa independent din yon, di ba? So, ang cartoon na to is made by Fernando R. Marcelo. So, ang target ng artist na to is to point out this system of yung mga Manila police station nung time na yon. So, makikita nyo dito sa cartoon na to is may batang nagnakaw ng manok na sobrang payat na manok kasi ginawa niya yon kasi wala na siyang makain. So, pero yung police na nakakita sa kanya is hinahabol pa rin ng sobrang todo. So, parang hindi na pinapakawalan yung bata na yun hanggang sa hindi niya mahuli yung or makuha ulit yung manok na ninakaw niya. So, as you can see, may makikita kayong lalaki dyan na he is wearing a salakot or yung sa head niya kasi it symbolizes as Filipino citizen. Then, hinatak niya yung police officer na sinasabi na tigilin na yung maliit na magnanakaw. Instead na mag-focus na lang sila or pinapakita niyang dapat habulin yung mga malalaking magnanakaw na nirepresent ng malaking bodega na puno ng bigas, yung mga gatas at grocery items. So, basically, pinupuna ng cartoon na to yung injustice kung saan pinaparusahan ng mahihirap kaysa sa mga taong abusado at makapangyarihan. So, this picture is not, or hindi lang siya nangyayari dati. Because nangyayari din siya ngayon, lalo na yung mga recently na naging issue about politics, which is yung sa mga projects, sa mga flood control. So, as of now, wala pa masyadong nakukulong sa kanila kasi nga binabayaran nila yung mga tao para hindi silang ikulong. So, meron din akong nakita sa balita na nagnakaw lang ng isang cellophane ba yung basta isang pack ng gatas for his kids. So, ang lalaki na yun is nakulong siya agad. So, wala silang bibigay na second chance or anything na like parang hindi siya makulong. And marami talaga akong nakikita sa social media or even sa TV na nakukulong dahil sa maliit na bagay while yung mga magnanakaw na sobrang bilyon, yung bilyong-bilyong ninanakaw nila sa mga tao is hindi sila nakukulong. So, kailangan natin ng justice para makulong yung mga magnanakaw na yan. So, yan yung pinopoint out ng artist na yan, which is si Fernando R. Marcelo. And that is for the second picture. So, let's proceed to the third one. So, this is the third picture. So, as you can see, I think, parang truck yan siya. But, let's find out kung ano yan. So, the third cartoon was on the unprecedented cases of colorum automobiles in the city streets. So, the Philippine Free Press published this commentary when fatal accidents involving colorum vehicles and taxis occurred too often already. So, what does it mean? Okay, so ito yung ibig sabihin nun. So, itong third cartoon is about problems sa colorum automobiles. So, colorum automobiles is, ito yung mga sasakyan na illegal or walang proper registration na bumibiyahe sa streets. So, yung mga ginagamit nilang sasakyan is not fully registered sa, for example, sa mga munisipyo. So, parang illegal siya. So, pinablish ito ng Philippine Free Press nung panahon na sobrang dami ng aksidente. So, nagkakaroon ng maraming aksidente because of this colorum automobiles kasi nga wala silang proper way or wala silang proper registration para magbiyahe sa public highways. So, and marami na ring namamatay dahil sa colorum vehicles and taxis. So, ang point ng cartoon nito is to call out yung kapabayaan ng authorities na pinayagang makabiyahe yung mga illegal na sasakyan. So, nalalagay sa panganib yung mga ordinaryong mamamayan kasi nga nababangga sila kahit wala naman silang kasalanan or kahit yung sinasakyan nila is legal. So, nadadamay sila sa mga gulo na yun. So, basically, ginagamit yung cartoon para ipakita na hindi lang siya simpleng traffic issue kundi serious public safety problem na dapat aksyonan. So, uh, as of now, wala na rin atang mga ganitong cases sa Philippines kasi parang parang hindi na nakakabiyahe yung mga sasakyan na hindi fully registered sa bayan. So, uh, thankful tayo masyado na kumbaga nakulangan na yung ganitong pangyayari yung Colorum Automobiles. So, I think you get it naman yung ibig sabihin ng Colorum Automobiles, diba? So, Colorum Automobiles is ito yung mga illegal or walang proper registration sa isang lugar. So, we will go so let's proceed to the fourth picture. Okay, so this is the fourth picture. So as you can see, parang may may nakasulat na parang not allowed, and then there is a lalaki na parang security guard siya, tapos parang nanonood sila ng sine, 'di ba? So parang nanonood pala sila ng sine. So let's find out kung ano ba yung meaning or ano yung behind the stories of this painting. Okay, so let's go. So the fourth picture is depicts a cinema. A blown-up police officer was that at the screen saying that couples are not allowed to neck and make love in the theater. Two youngsters look horrified while an older couple seem amused. So itong fourth cartoon is set inside a cinema. So yun na nga, nasa loob to siya ng sinehan or theater. So makikita mo yung police officer na parang pinalaki sa screen na nag-announce na bawal mag-neck or magpakita ng affection ang couple sa loob ng sinehan. So parang ang in-announce dito ng police officer is bawal intercourse sa loob ng sinehan or sa theater. So, meron tayong couples dyan sa loob na parang symbol ng strict rules and authority na nagbabantay sa personal space ng na tao. So, actually, okay lang naman tong ginawa nilang rules kasi nga parang it's very disappointed na kahit sa sinihan is meron ding mga taong walang disiplina sa sarili. So, kung magkakaroon kayo ng intercourse is pwede naman siguro magpunta na lang kayo sa hotel, wag lang dyan kasi ang sinehan kasi is merong mga involved dyan na bata, mga nanonood, hindi lang kayong mga matatanda ang nanonood sa sinehan. So, also may mga bata din na nakakapasok. So, yun. Actually, this is a good idea naman din. So, hindi masyado siya masama. Okay, so let's proceed to the fifth picture or the fifth cartoon. Okay, so here, this cartoon was published by The Independent on 27th of November 1915. Here, we see the caricature of Uncle Sam riding a carriage pulled by Filipinos wearing school uniforms. So the Filipino boy is carrying American objects like baseball bats, whiskey, and boxing gloves. So McCoy in his caption that he said this cartoon was based on an event in 1907 when William Howard Taft was brought to the Manila Pier riding a carriage by students of Liceo de Manila. Such was condemned by the nationalists at the time. So, yung nakasakay dyan sa chariot na yan is si Uncle Sam. So, when we say chariot is parang kalesa siya na ang chariot is merong dalawang gulong. So, Commonly, ang dapat na humihila dyan is kabayo or yes, kabayo. So, instead na kabayo is ang nilagay nila is tao. So, mga Filipino students yung mga tao dyan and they are wearing school uniform. So, nagdadala din sila or may dala din silang mga baseball bats as you can see, whiskey or yung mga alcoholic drinks and boxing gloves. So, uh, hindi lang to basta-basta ginawa for fun or like parang inimagine lang. But ginawa ito kasi nangyari talaga siya nung si William Howard is pumunta siya sa Manila by riding that chariot. So, ang mga students na is galing sa Lereo de Manila. So, such as condemned by the nationalists at that time. So, when we say condemned is hindi siya um, like, wait lang. So, hindi siya unacceptable to the people. So, parang declared or unsafe and not allowed to be used. So, parang ganun siya. So, strongly disapprove or officially declared wrong or unacceptable. So, yun yung meaning ng or yun yung story behind the fifth picture. So, let's proceed to the sixth one. So, here, the sixth one is parang may makikita kayong commonly parang mga magician yan siya sa isang ano. So, let's go what is the behind this art. So, the last cartoon was published by Dilipang Calabao on 24th day of August 1907. In and member of the Progresista Party, sometimes known as the Federalista Party, while member of the Nacionalista Party look on wait for their turn. This cartoon depicts the patronage of the United States being coveted by politicians from either of the party. So, ang ang ginamit ng last picture is uh, pinapakita ng cartoon na to na kahit sa politics noon, malaking influence ang US at yung mga politician and pilit na inaabuso or sinusundan yung American favor para sa sariling kapakinabangan. Satirical siya sa pinapakita yung reality ng power dynamics na yung loyalty ng mga politicians minsan mas foreign power kaysa sariling bansa. So, it means parang mas powerful pa yung mga Amerikano that time kaysa sa atin na mga nakatira na talaga sa Pilipinas. Pero wala na kasi tayong magawa since sinakop nila tayo that time. So, ito yung meaning ng sixth picture or ito yung last picture na ipapakita ko. Okay, so let's proceed to the last part of this report, which is the analysis of political caricature during the American period. So let's go to the first paragraph. The transition from the Spanish colonial period to the American occupation period demonstrated the different strands of changes and shifts in culture, society, and politics. The American drastically introduced democracy to the nascent nation, and the consequences were far from ideal. Aside from this, it was also during the American period that Filipinos were introduced to different manifestation of modernity like healthcare, modern transportation, and media. This ushered in a more open of freer press. The post-independence and the post-Filipino-American period in the Philippines were experienced differently by Filipinos coming from different classes. The upper Principalia class experienced economic prosperity with the opening up of the Philippine economy to the United States, but the majority of the poor Filipino remained poor. disparate, and victims of state repression. So, ang gustong iparating ng first paragraph na hindi lahat ng automatic na maganda ang democracy at modernity. Let's say yes na nagdala ang Americans ng bagong sistema at technology dito sa Philippines. So, hindi dahil sa ganon ay gumanda na agad ang buhay ng lahat. Ang point dito is yung may mga power lang din or yung mga high classic na tao. Yung elite class lang ang may kakayahan makinabang sa bagong ekonomiya at relasyon sa United States. Samantala, yung mga mahihirap, wala din silang access sa opportunities kaya sila pa rin yung pinaka-apektado ng pag-aabuso ng gobyerno. So, ipinapakita nito na ang progress ay para lang sa iilan. So, to the point na yung mga mayayaman lang din at hindi para sa lahat. Okay, so let's proceed to this one. The selected cartoons illustrate not only the opinion of certain media outfits about the Philippine society during the American period but also paint a broad image of society and politics under the United States. In the arena of politics, for example, we see the price of the Filipinos pays for the democracy modeled after the Americans. First, it seemed that the Filipino politician at the time did not understand well enough the essence of democracy and the accompanying democratic institution and process. This can be seen in the rising dynastic politics in Tondo as depicted in the cartoon published by The Independent. Patronage also became influential and powerful not only between clients and patrons but also between the newly formed political parties composed of the elite and the United States. This was depicted in the cartoon where the United States, represented by Uncle Sam, provided dogouts for members of the Federalista, while the Nationalista politician looked on and waited for their turn. Thus, the essence of competing politics parties to inform choices among the voters was cancelled out. The problem continues up to present rather, where politicians transfer from one party to another depending on which party was powerful in specific periods of time. So, ang meaning naman nito is yung gustong ipakita ay ang naging sablay ang democracy sa practice. Hindi problema ang democracy mismo kundi kung papaano ito ginamit ng mga politiko. Ang cartoons ay ginagamit para ipakita ang mga politiko ay mas focus sa kapangyarihan kaysa sa tunay na serbisyo. Yung eksena na nagbibigay si Uncle Sam ng pabor ay simbolo na hindi talaga independent ang Philippines politics. Ibig sabihin, kahit may sariling parties ang Philippines, kontrolado pa rin ng US ang sistema dito sa Pilipinas. So, that means na parang hinahawakan pa rin tayo ng United States at para sila yung nagko-control sa atin. Kaya nawawalang tunay na choice ng tao at nagiging palabas lang ang election. So, let's proceed to the third paragraph. So, the transition from a Catholic-centered Spanish-Filipino society to an Imperial American assimilated one and its complications were also depicted in the cartoons. One example is the unprecedented increase of motorized vehicles in the city. Automobiles became a popular mode of transportation in the city and led to the emergence of taxis. However, the laws and policy implementation was mediocre. This resulted in the increase in colorism in unlicensed vehicles transporting people around the city. The rules governing the issuance of driver license was loose and traffic police could not be bothered by rampant violation of traffic rules. This is the direct consequence of the drastic urbanization in the Philippines society. Another example is what McCoy called the sexual revolution. What occurred in 1930s, young people as early as that period disturbed the 1930s. Young people as early disturb the conservative Filipino mindset by engaging in daring sexuality activities in public spaces like cinemas. And here we can see how that period was the meeting point between the conservative past and the liberated future of the Philippines. So ang point dito ay hindi handa ang lipunan sa biglaang modernisasyon. Hindi pa ready ang Pilipinas sa mga ganitong pangyayari. Dumating ang kotse, taxi at urban life pero hindi sabay-sabay na lumakas ang batas at disiplina. Kaya nagkakagulo ang color room, traffic violation at corruption. Another thing here is the sexual revolution. For example naman ay yung nagpapakita ng cultural shocks. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa sex, kundi tungkol sa pagkabangga ng lumang values at bagong idea. Pinapakita ng cartoons na nalilito ang lipunan kung ano ang tama at mali sa bagong panahon ngayon. Kasi marami ngayon na yung mga mali dati ay nagiging tama na ngayon. So, yung mga bata ngayon in this generation is hindi na nila alam kung ano yung tama at mali. Okay? So, siguro naintindihan naman. Okay, let's proceed. So, lastly, the cartoon also illustrated the condition of poor Filipinos in the Philippines, now governed by United States. From the looks of it, nothing much has changed. For example, a cartoon depicted how police authorities oppress pretty Filipino criminals while turning a blind eye on a hoarder who monopolize goods in their huge warehouse, or what we call the presumably Chinese merchants. The other cartoon depicts how American controlled Filipinos through seemingly harmless American objects. By controlling their consciousness and mentality, Americans got. So, all in all, political cartoons during the American period served as a mirror of Philippine society. They showed how power was used and abused, how American influence affected Filipino politics and culture, and how ordinary people were often left powerless. Through exaggeration and symbolism, these cartoons made complex politics issues that easier to understand and more relatable to the public because they shape public opinion and reflected the mindset of the people during that era. Political cartoons are considered valuable historical sources that help historians understood both the event and the emotion of the time. So that's all my report. Thank you so much for listening and watching my video. So have a good day again, everyone. So bye.